I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? How are you doing today? So here I am in Whittier, California, and I'm in a public park. I'm assuming a lot of you like to go to parks. I was thinking this as I was driving over. I'm not a big park person. Unless I'm taking my dog to a park, my shady. I'm not one to go sit in a park. But what I do like doing is walking around cemeteries. I do that a lot on my channel. Where there's famous people or something weird happened, or just the beauty of cemeteries. But I decided to come to a park today. 2 parks, maybe 3 parks. Because these parks are weird, strange, a little eerie. It's windy, it's overcast. It's not like LA today. I don't know what's going on here. This park is a former cemetery. And the bodies are still here. Let's take a look. Now, as you see here, it reads Founders Memorial Park, Mount Olive Cemetery. Now, all these names, I'm going to assume they continue on the other side. Let's take a look. They do. In memory of those interred 1907 to 1958, dedicated 1994, rededicated 2015. Now, from what I know, this cemetery opened actually in the 1880s, and the one right across the street, and we're going to walk over there, that opened in like 1900, so a little while ago. Right where I'm sitting, there are over 1,200 bodies buried here, over 1,200. But eventually, like a lot of cemeteries, it stopped being maintained. So they're vandalized, and a lot of graves were just abandoned, which is really sad. And in 1958, city officials declared the land a public nuisance, saying that the cemeteries contained vermin and unsafe attractions for children. So they made efforts to notify families to gain what's going on over there? Oh boy. So some people going at it. Right in a... I wonder if they know what's... I don't think they know. Yeah, they made efforts to notify the families to gain permission to move the bodies to other cemeteries. All of the headstones were removed, taken to a nearby museum, but many of the bodies still remain. They are going at it. There's no getting, like... So there we are, Founders Memorial Park, one of the cemeteries, Mount Olive Cemetery, right here in Whittier. Huh. And look what's going on in Whittier over there. Come on. Get a room. Well, get a bench at least. I guess the grass is more comfortable. I don't know. So yes, I'm having a bit of fun with this due to the oddness of it. But still, when you think about it, this public park, there are bodies still here. And paranormal investigators come out here all the time and do the, paranormal investigations. It's not too much of an odd feeling. What's odd to me is I'm about to walk across the grass instead of the pathway, but I'm assuming people just play on the grass. Well, people, kids, whoever, play on the grass anyways. What exactly am I walking over? It's not funny. So this is the other cemetery on the other side. Broadway Cemetery. Wow. Looks like even more people were buried here. Even though this one was built after that one, because the names seem to be smaller and there's more of them. In memory of those interred 1870 to 1939, dedicated 1994, rededicated 2015. Beautiful, beautiful palm trees, beautiful little neighborhood, bodies underneath where you're having your picnics, your soccer matches. Probably a drug deal or two goes on here. Not because I'm just saying that's what happens in parks. Hand off the weed. I remember those days. Sort of. And now I'm going to take you to somewhere else, not too far from here, that is very, very similar to where we are now. Let's go. Actually, I thought this, when I was reading about it, I thought this was now a park, but it's still a cemetery. It's a pretty run-down cemetery here in Los Angeles. I'm in Santa Fe Springs, which is like 15 minutes from Whittier, where I just was. But this is still a cemetery. But what's weird about this cemetery is in 1995, employees were digging up bodies. And they were piling them into single graves and then reselling the other plot. So when loved ones came here to find their loved one, they weren't there. They were piled up with a bunch of other people. What? So yes, this cemetery, which you can see there are some things here. People do come out here. But in the early 1990s, the family members who went to visit the graves of loved ones who had passed on would find that the headstones were missing, often with a new marker with a stranger's name in it. So there were some investigations made, and it resulted in the conviction of the cemetery operators for pocketing maintenance funds. Investigators also found a 7-foot-high pile of dirt containing human bodies right here on this property. But about 25 years before this particular scandal, the LA Times reported that the remains of 14 babies were reinterred in order to widen Florence Avenue. That's Florence Avenue going right there, which is a very, very big thoroughfare through Los Angeles. Only 8 of the 14 babies' families could be found to give permission, so an agreement was made between the city of Santa Fe Springs and cemetery management, protecting them from any claims for moving the bodies. So this cemetery has quite a bizarre history. And like I said, I mean, it's a little, you see a little bit of blue sky, but it's supposed to be a gloomy, overcast day, and this is an odd cemetery. I'm going to see what we can see here. Looks like those are markers on the wall, which is, they're etched in, I can see, but no, they're kind of written on. Let me see. No, it's just marker. It's just like magic marker on the brick. So you would come, find the number 168 to 167. That's if you're looking for your loved one or a particular grave. Usually they've got the metal poles that are in the ground with the numbers that I've shown on other cemetery videos. Not here. Here it's just a magic marker on a wall. And you can see it goes right up to there with that tree, right in the middle. It ends there. And I just stopped on the other side because I thought it was the park on the other side. And there's a business there, like a recreation center. And I asked the gentleman that were working there, I said, is there a park here called Paradise Memorial Park or Paradise Park? And they were very confused, and they said, oh, that old cemetery. And then just the look they gave me, I wish I was recording. They were like, oh, it's next door. It's down a little road. So I know that they knew about this cemetery and its odd history. But it's maintained now. You can see right over there the lonely balloon in the wind. And then that would be the maintenance shed there. And they've been doing maintenance on it. It's being somewhat well kept now. Definitely odd. Okay, we're gonna go to one other place. I'm not sure how close I can get or what kind of access I'm going to get, but at least I'll tell you the story. It's a bit of a drive right into almost downtown Los Angeles. What is that? What is that? Hold on. There's some weird sounds here, and I'm not just making it up. What's something right here I want to see? And you're coming with me. What was this? It's just an old... I don't know what that is. Huh. Wow. Breeze, put on a hoodie. I'm outside of Cathedral High School here in Los Angeles, and this high school, their football team is called the Phantoms, which is very interesting because this high school was built over top of a cemetery. And you guessed it, some bodies still remain. Yeah. Now the headstones are apparently by the, when they built the stadium, that's where they discovered more graves. But they're filming some sort of movie here. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get to that area, see what I can find. Usually I'll go in and ask, but like I said, there's a movie filming here, and when there's a movie filming here, that takes precedence over me. And it's probably a show like This Is Us. But this is the school right here. So the school's on the grounds of the former Calvary Cemetery, and the last burial, I believe, was 1886. But crypts were robbed of the contents and all like the building materials, like the cement and stuff like that. And grave robbers. And then they were even having illegal, undocumented burials here, which is crazy. There's the stadium lights right there. So the stadium is right there. When the decision was made to build a school, interment records documenting how many bodies were there and where they were lost. And this is a church, I believe, Casa Italiana. I'm getting turned around here. So it was impossible to ensure that every grave was properly moved. And so it's assumed that a lot remain underneath. And like I said, during the construction of the stadium that's right there, numerous gravestones were unearthed and are now prominently displayed. So I want to find those gravestones. Ghost sightings are rare here, I guess because they appease the spirits, so to speak. I'm not sure. I want to find those headstones. So actually what I found out is they're filming the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot here, and I'm going to show you why, because the school is actually very beautiful. There's downtown LA right there, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get in to see the headstones, but I'm going to show you pictures of them. They said to come back on a school day during the day, which is odd. Usually it's after school, but he says there's nobody here right now, but there's a lot of people here. But they're filming Fresh Prince, and Will Smith takes precedence over moi. This is a story all about how Will Smith fucked up my video. Wow, that's the actual cemetery.
No, that's the actual cemetery.
Yeah.
So you can see here, this is North Broadway. This is Chinatown.
Right, I was just walking along here, yeah.
Yeah, this is Chinatown.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's a cemetery. So it was pretty much like run down.
So we're inside the school, and that was the principal that showed me around. This is a plaque talking about it right here. And all these students here are not real students, they are actors for the Bel-Air Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot. So these aren't real students. I mean, I'm sure they were at one point. But yeah, he told me to go right down here. I don't know how the hell I get down there. I'm gonna figure it out though. So this is the academy that's going to be the school. I guess it's going to be a Bel-Air Academy. You can see the movie lights set up. And this is what you're going to see in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the reboot. But I'm here more for these. Check it out. These are actual headstones right around the track. Look. And some of the fake students are watching me. So all those students that you see going up there, they're just actors. But there's real students down there. It's so confusing. But look at these. Here we are. Michel Clement. The president of the school is who I spoke to, and he was beyond nice. Thank you so much for letting me come on to the property and take a look at this. Just some old gym equipment and some old headstones. They continue all the way around. Ellen McGee, Bertha Dukeman. Oh, this is nice. And there's some more right down here. I can see my car off in the distance parked illegally, and I'm worried. But this is way more important. Marcelina Leonis. right here. They own this. Right here. There's security going around the track, and they just stopped me and said, "Hey, wait." And I said, "Hey, wait." So he was like, "Okay, cool." One there. And a couple more. These are some pretty old, you can hear the bells in the background. Right here. So this right here was that cemetery that we saw in that picture. There's a new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air school, but I'm way more interested in this. Cathedral High School, right here in Los Angeles. All right, it's getting a little windy, and it's time for me to vamoose. Like I said, when you see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot, that's it right there. I wish I should have taken some pictures inside, but there's a lot of people walking around. Yeah, they're all set up for the Bel-Air winter dance or something like that. Okay, thanks for watching. Rest in peace to all the people that I visited today. I mean, there's a lot. I had a little bit of fun.
Darkness falls.
Stop. But rest in peace to all the people here, and thank you to the school for letting me on the property to film around. Always, when you go to a school, ask permission. Do not just walk on the property. It's always best to ask permission, and you may get in. You may get to see what you want to see. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air coming soon on NBC. Why am I promoting them? They're not promoting me. Thanks to the people that work here. Peace out.